Hello, dear friends. Today, I'm truly here to instruct you in detail on the steps for releasing music through the CIRO Distribution website. We're going to go through all the options step by step and learn how to use them together. After completing the steps to create your profile on the CIRO Distribution website, adding your artist, and then purchasing your subscription, you'll see that the release option has become available for you at the top right of the page. Click on it and continue with the steps. In the first step, we need to enter the basic information about our music. First of all, it asks us for the release title. The release title is the name of our music as it will appear on the platforms. Here, if you are going to release a music album, your release title will be the name of your album. And if it's a single track, you should enter the name of that single track. Below that, there's a section where you choose your music distribution label, which by default is CIRO Distribution. However, if you add 5 artists to your profile, you can enter your own exclusive label as your music distribution label. Further down, you need to select your music genre from a list defined for music platforms. And below that, release language means in what language is the release title you've chosen. Select that as well, and further down it asks you whether this music has been released before or not. If you select yes, you need to enter the previous release date of your music as well as copy the copyright code, the ISRC, and then click next to continue with the steps. At this stage, you need to upload the cover art or the cover image for your music. Some important points to keep in mind are that your cover image must be square and at least 3000 by 3000 pixels. The design of the cover image can be anything, but the text on the cover is very important. Either there should be no text at all, or if there is any text, it should only be your artist's name and the release title or the name of your music exactly matching what you entered in the previous step. Adding logos, your social media logos, any extra text or writing that is a translation of your music title into other languages on the cover art is prohibited. In the next step, you need to upload your music file. Your music file can be in WAV, MP3, or FLAC format. After your file is uploaded, the section for adding metadata or information about your music will open for you. After your music is uploaded, in the metadata section, the first option asks whether this music is part of an album or a single track. We'll proceed with the assumption that it's a single track. Your release title should match the release title you selected in the first step. Next, you need to choose the subgenre or subgenre of your music. And after that, it asks you what year this music was produced. And further down, it asks whether this music has vocals. If you select yes, you need to choose the language of the vocals. And if you select no, your music will be considered instrumental. Further down, in the explicit content section, you need to specify whether your music contains content suitable only for those over 18, and there are 3 options available. Not explicit means that this content is suitable for all audiences and all ages. The next option, clean, means that a previous version of your music was released that was explicit and contained language suitable only for those over 18. But now this version has been edited and no longer contains that language. And explicit means that this content contains language intended for people over 18. Further down, in the composer or writer section, you need to enter the first and last name of the person who holds the rights to the track. This section does not accept any titles or nicknames at all. You must enter a first and last name. In the license documents section, you need to provide documentation if you have purchased your music from someone, covered it, remixed it, or even if you have bought a sample pack that is copyrighted and used it in your music. You absolutely need to upload all relevant documents that clearly show you have explicit permission to legally distribute this particular music on various digital platforms and effectively monetize it. Below, there are several comprehensive options that different streaming and distribution platforms typically provide for you to consider and utilize. For example, YouTube Content ID. If you want to use it for your music, you can check the box and proceed. Further down in the TikTok highlights section, keep in mind that only 1 minute of your music will be uploaded to TikTok's library, and you can specify the starting second of that 1 minute. Further down, we see that in the artist section, your name is listed as the primary artist for the track, but you can also enter the names of your collaborators who contributed to making this music. You click on Add Artist, you enter the name of that artist, and below you select the role of that artist, which could be featuring artist, main artist, guest artist, producer of the track, mixing engineer, or the person who mastered your music. And below it asks you whether this artist already has a profile on the platforms. If they do, then you enter their dedicated Spotify profile and proceed to click on the Add Artist button. Now, the steps for completing the metadata or our music information are finished. We click on Add Track and continue with the steps. This time, assuming that this music is part of an album, we continue with the steps. If we set this option to yes, we can choose a separate name for this track, and the release title we selected in the first step will become the name of our album. Further down, it asks us to specify which number this music is in the album, so we can select the track number. In this case, only one option is added for us, which is the option to add the ISRC code for that music, located below. If this music has already been released on platforms before, you can set this section to yes, enter its ISRC code, and continue with the process. When you are preparing to release your new music album, after you've successfully completed the metadata and then clicked on the Add Track option, you'll see that there's ample space for you to upload the subsequent track and apply all these necessary steps to it as well. After we finish uploading our tracks and adding their metadata, we click Next, and in the next step, we need to select the stores where our music will be distributed. We choose the release date for our music, complete the steps, and send our music to the platforms. In this section, when you click on Music Store, you can see the full list of platforms we have contracts with, and you can distribute your music on those platforms through us. You can select whichever ones you want, or deselect them using Select, so your music won't be sent there. After that, you need to choose the release date for your music, which by default and as a standard is set to 10 days after the date you submit your music. If you don't want to use the 10-day option, there's a feature below called Fast Lane. If you select that, your track will be released on music platforms within 5 days. I recommend that if this is the first track you're releasing and your profile is going to be created on music platforms for the first time, definitely use the 10-day option. After you complete these steps, the Submit button will become available to you. You click the Submit button, you'll see a preview of your track and the information you've entered, and after confirming it, it will be sent for copyright approval. Your track will go through a review process for a few days to check for copyright issues, and after it's approved, on the date you selected, your track will be uploaded simultaneously to all platforms.